Hi there and welcome back. In this video we're going to look at three things. First of all, we're going to look at how to connect the mbed to the computer so that they can talk to each other. Secondly, we're going to look at how to use Bluej to write a Java program to control the mbed. Thirdly, I'm going to walk through what to expect on your driving test, exactly what you're going to have to do and what will be expected of you.
You're going to be programming the Freedom Board in Java and using the Bluej IDE. This is the programming language and IDE that you're already familiar with. You're probably installing this at home on your own machine, in which case the first step is to go to bluej.org and download the appropriate installer. You'll note that for Windows and Mac, the Java 8 JDK is bundled with the installer, and you will need the Java 8 JDK to run the examples. If you're using Linux, follow the instructions, but if you get stuck, or if you get stuck on any of the OSs in fact, come into the shed and speak to somebody. Let's download the package installer for Windows. Once the package is downloaded, run the installer. Let's go through the setup wizard. You want to install it for you. Leave all those ticked. The default installation directory is OK. And let's just let this thing install. When the installation is complete, just click Finish. Now that you've installed Bluej, before you can use the mbed device, on Windows at least, you're going to need to install the serial drivers. To find the serial drivers, if you search in your favourite search engine for mbed serial, one of the first links that comes up is labelled Windows Serial Configuration. You click on that, you'll be taken to the appropriate page. If it doesn't come up in your search, here's the URL. Once you're at this page, click on this link to download the latest driver. Once the mbed driver is downloaded, what you'll notice here, highlighted, it says to run the installer with the mbed plugged in. So we're going to plug the mbed in first. You'll see that Windows pops up its classic installing device driver software. Let's have a look what it's doing. So it doesn't find a driver, that's fine. So we let it go through that and now run the installation. It might take a while, and if you look on, it's worth reading the troubleshooting here on the site. Oh, there we go, that seemed pretty painless. The driver's been installed. And now mbed is there. The driver's actually there. To check that the installation has been completely successful, what you want to do is go to the control panel, click on Devices and Printers, and in the unspecified category you should see mbed CMIS DAP and mbed serial port. These are the important one here is the mbed serial port, because that's what we're communicating over. If you see that, then everything should work. If you have any problems, see the troubleshooting section. So now it's time to write your first Java-driven mbed program. The first thing to do, of course, is to plug in your mbed. You'll see that the mbed is running the default program with two flashing RGB LEDs on it. If it's not running this, please see the troubleshooting video. The first step in running your first Java-driven mbed program is to go to the Git repository where all of the files are. Please go to this URL now. Once you're there, you'll notice that there's a README on the landing page which lists all the files you need as well as some troubleshooting information. The first thing you're going to need is the Java Library API, or libshed.jar. What I recommend is let's go and create on our desktop a directory to put all of this in. So we'll just call this Java driving test. And we'll download this jar file and store it in our folder. When you come to do your driving test, you'll have to download and modify one of 5 projects. These 5 projects are listed under driving test projects as A, B, C, D and E. They're very simple projects and you'll be required to make a small modification. To get you familiarised with this, let us download driving test A and I'll run you through what's required. Once that's downloaded, go into the directory and unzip the zip. Inside the zip you will see a Bluej package. You can either open this from Bluej or you should be able to double click on the package to fire Bluej up. Once Bluej is fired up, you'll see the project. We can of course open up the editor to take a look at the code. The driving test A is a very simple example that cycles through RGB colours every 50 milliseconds by using the mbed.setBoardLed function or method. To begin with, the driving test will not compile. We'll get a complaint that it cannot find the symbol. This is because what you first need to do is add the Java API library to Bluej so that when you perform the compilation the required mbed library can be found. To add the Java API library, click on Tools, then Preferences and click on the Libraries tab within Bluej. Then click on the Add button. Navigate to the location at which you downloaded the libshed.jar and click on it and then press Open. The library will then be added to the class path within Bluej. You'll get a message saying that you need to restart the virtual machine. To do this, right click on the lollipop bar down here and click on Reset Java Machine. The Done message indicates that the new libraries have now been loaded. Compilation will still fail, however, because we have yet to import the libraries into our program. In order to import our library, type the following into the top of your program: import shed.mbed.star followed by a semicolon. That will import all of the shed libraries that you need. And you'll see that now when we click on compile, the class compiles with no errors. In order to run the program, right click on driving test A and on void main. Accept the default arguments. You should now see the board LED program running, and the board LED should be flashing. It's as simple as that. You will be asked to make a small modification to this file or any one of the other 5 examples. In the case of the RGB example, driving test A, it says here your job is to modify this code to set the board LED color hue according to the position of the potentiometer pot 2. So you'll have to work out how to do that and demonstrate that to the examiner. What I recommend is that you work through all 5 examples and work out how to do that before your exam, because you will not know in advance which one of the examples you will have to do.